All right, everybody, today I'm going to show you exactly how we cut this client's churn by more than half, which actually meant that we 2.5x'd his client lifetime value at his agency. So let's get straight into it. This is what ended up happening. These guys were churning at anywhere between 12 and 14% churn prior to us working together. And this was a huge problem because when you're churning 12% a month, what that means is that you're churning at almost 150% a year. It's actually 144% to be exact. That means that to keep $1 in revenue, you need to close $1.50 every single year to just maintain. That's not even growth, that's just to maintain. And that is very, very difficult when you have 150, 200, or even higher revenue per month. So in this exact example, these guys were doing around 170-ish in top line revenue. So they had to close almost 300K per year in MRR. Now, if we can drive that churn to zero, that means that they would grow by that much. So they would double their business simply by cutting churn in half. And we did that and more. So here's the graph. And as you can see here, they were retaining about 87%, which means that the inverse of this, 13%, is the churn. As we started working together, we put in this one client feedback loop into place, which changed everything. And that's what we're going to cover today. We went all the way up here. We had a little bit of a backslide in January because January was a tough month. And then we just have been improving month over month. What does this mean? Well, we went from a 13% churn down to sub 5% average in the last couple of months. And it's actually getting even better. And this is the one client feedback loop that governed everything and enabled this to happen. This means that they are now on their way to growth. Their profitability is actually the highest it's ever been in the last 5 years. So this stuff really hits home. It's all to do with this client feedback loop. Really quickly, you run an NPS. If you don't know what NPS is, I'm gonna have a free downloadable NPS SOP that you can get straight from there. It's all about asking your clients to rank you from 1 to 10, and 7 and 8s are neutral, 9s and 10s, they're super happy with you, 6s and below, they're flight risks. And the question is, how likely are they to recommend us? That's the scoring. We run an NPS. After the NPS, what we do is that whoever is the escalation point for the client runs this feedback call. So for example, if you have a client account manager or like a digital strategist as the main client point of contact, their boss would be doing this feedback call. So that's the account director, the digital director, doesn't matter what titles you give them. Functionally, it's the escalation point or of whoever the day-to-day contact is. Why? Because people don't give candid feedback to people that they're dealing with on an ongoing basis because it's awkward. It's like if they tell them, hey, we're unhappy with X, Y, and Z, it might just get awkward between them and their primary point of contact. The clients are gonna hold back their true feelings and their true feedback. However, if we do a point of escalation, then the client is way more likely to give us that unfettered feedback that we need. There's another reason why we do this, because if we get a 9 or a 10 on the NPS as part of this feedback call, that point of escalation, account director, whatever have you, the point of escalation is going to ask for referrals, testimonials, and upsells, which is a huge upside of this. A lot of people don't get referrals, they don't get testimonials, and they don't get upsells because they don't ask for them because they don't know when to ask for them. NPS solves this because when they score you high, we know that it's time to ask. Really simple. This person goes out and they ask a bunch of questions. Again, if you want an SOP on those questions, link below. We gather up all those questions and all of the feedback that the client gives us, we communicate it internally with our team. This could be via meeting, one-to-one, whatever have you. I recommend doing this in meeting. Why? Because out of this feedback, we're going to generate meaning and we are going to amend our process and how we deliver the service. This is how we complete this flywheel, because once we amend it, we launch it, we keep doing work with a client, we NPS them again over and over. So what does this create? It creates a flywheel of improvement. And every single time we do this with every single client, we're going to get progressively better and better and better. And this translates to lowering churn because we're going to figure out why clients are happy with us. Why are they unhappy with us? The reasons that they're happy with us, we're going to take them to those other clients that, maybe scored us neutrally or poor. We're going to talk to those clients that scored us neutrally or poor and ask them what could be better. And then we're going to amend the process with their feedback. And then they're going to become happy. They're going to become our raving fans. And if we do this month after month, quarter after quarter, the only logical outcome is that we get results like this, where the retention is going up, the client churn is going down, and we are more likely to succeed because our lifetime value is up, our profit's up, and our clients are happy. And the one mind shift that needs to happen here is this. This is the one mind shift that we need to get through to our employees, especially the ones that are responsible for retaining clients. There's a big difference between trying to get a referral versus getting retention. And we should never be trying to get retention, because when we shoot for retention, this is what's going to happen. And so we're going to hit people in a way where we are getting some retention, but we're also going to hit people below the retention line. And if they're below the retention line, guess what happens? They go away. They stop doing business with us. What we need to do from a mental model perspective is shoot for referral. We need to paint the bullseye up here, because even if we miss really bad, maybe we still get a testimonial, but we'll definitely get retention. So people are aiming for the wrong bar. People cannot aim for trying to keep the client on. We can't race to the finish line. We have to race through the finish line, because what happens is when people see the finish line, they slow down. So instead of the finish line being retention, the finish line should be more in the referral area. And if you think this bar is too high to hit, you need to set the bar at the upsell area. And this was a key mental unlock for the one example that I gave you with this higher client retention, lower client churn. They went from trying to retain clients to upsell clients now. And this is why they have been getting the best profits ever. Again, in the description below, get the free NPS SOP where I walk you through how to run NPS and this client feedback loop step by step. Follow for more. And if you want more on this, next week, I will be posting a video where I explain the client feedback loop, but I add 2 more elements that 10x's its value and enables us to retain clients for even longer and even more profitably. See you next time.